Hey you guys, welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. It is a beautiful day, very hot. I'm sure you can tell by looking at me, but we had a very exciting thing happen today. You will have already seen because I'll put it at the front of the video, but our soil came today. So I have been busy working on putting soil into beds. And I have gotten far enough that I set my first fig tree in the middle of the bed so I can fill the dirt in around it. We'll come over here, get a little bit closer look. This is my Little Miss Figgy. She's going to be in the center of this big round bed. Eventually, Little Miss Figgy is supposed to be 3 to 4 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and so she'll actually overhang the bed a little bit, but I'm very excited about this. First thing going into the new garden. I'm just going to get back to work putting more soil in around Little Miss Figgy here. I do think we're going to top dress it with some compost, and I learned today, I maybe should have done some research before now, but I found out that figs like their soil slightly acidic, and so I bought a digital pH reader so that I can see if we are going to need to amend the soil at all. But I'm going to get to shoveling more dirt. Well, I did not film a whole lot today, but I wanted to show you guys what we got accomplished. And it's starting to get dark, so I wanted to get some footage before it's too dark for the camera. You can see behind me, my mom's taking a turn with the shovel, but we got this bed completely filled. We got this round bed filled and Little Miss Figgy planted. We watered her in, and I don't love how the soil looks. So it's the premium blend this nursery sells. It is local topsoil, aged pine fines, and sand. I can't remember the ratios, but we are going to top it with some compost. And then we have also been filling these beds. This is what Mom was just filling. This is the last one of these. And we got those two filled. The far one was about half full of older soil. The second one was totally empty. So if I have done my calculations correctly, this was about 2.3 cubic yards of soil that we moved today. So we are exhausted, and we're going to finish this bed and we're going to go in, eat some dinner, and call it for the day. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're going to get some more beds filled. Good morning, you guys. Back at it. I'm going to apologize if I'm breathing heavy, but I've already filled one bed this morning. I'm working on a second, and I thought we just hang out for a minute. So I gotta tell you guys, I have never given birth, but you hear people talk about how eventually you forget how hard it was, and then people go ahead and have more kids. I'm like, I sort of feel like filling these beds is a little bit like that. Because I do remember saying, oh my goodness, I'm so glad we did this, but never again, when we built the other raised bed garden. And yet here I am, doing it all over again. It's beautiful, and I say it's beautiful. It's just dirt and a fig tree at this point, but I can see what it's going to be, and I love the layout, and so it's worth it, even though my muscles are screaming at me. So I'm just going to keep working on filling my beds. I did want to tell you guys, the fig tree, I don't know if it's actually in the shot or not. I was reading about companion plants for around fig trees. I think I'm going to dig up some of those volunteer, what are they? Blue spice basils that I have and plant around the fig tree, because I might be wrong, but I don't think that thing's going to get full size this year. That would be kind of crazy. I think its roots need to do a lot of, you know, settling in and growing before it'll actually get to that size. So I don't really want to leave that whole bed empty like that. And we can always keep the basils pruned back too. So that's my current thoughts. At some point I had mentioned that this soil has sand and pine fines in it. I wish I had pictures. I may need to look through some old pictures so I can show you guys the soil we used in our original raised beds. We got it at a local place. They told us it was topsoil, it would be great for our garden beds, and it ended up being 100% red Alabama clay. And when it got wet, we would end up with like beach ball size clods of clay that were almost impossible to break up. So this stuff, it does have some clods. This is a small one. There have been some that were maybe like softball size, but I am not exaggerating when I say beach ball size that last time. We ended up buying a tiller to try and break it up. Just like maybe if it'd been a big, like fancy tiller, but it wasn't. It was like $100 tiller from Home Depot or Lowe's that you plugged in, and it just got clogged up so badly. So I'm already so much happier with this soil than the soil that we got the last time. I am filling these right up to the top because we know from the fig tree that when we water it, the level's going to drop a little bit immediately. And I think we've decided we're going to put compost on top of all of it. Just an inch maybe, but plenty of room to do that once it gets watered and the soil level drops. I'm going to rake this out a little bit. I'm a very goal-oriented person, which maybe sounds like a weird thing to say, but there's something about filling by section and seeing part of it get full and completed that just makes my heart happy. So that's how I like to do it. So let me tell you guys, if any of you are in need of a rake, I'm really liking this rake. My old rake broke last week, I think, and I went yesterday and got this one at Target. I didn't know Target had Fisker's tools, but it's normally $22 and it was on sale for 13 something. So, and this video will go up today, so it should still be on sale if you need a rake. I love a good deal, so I want to share if you guys need the deal too. Okay, time for me to go get another load of dirt. So I hadn't shown you guys the beds partially filled. We've talked about the wood chips in the bottom, but that's kind of gives you an idea of how much is wood chip and how much is soil. So I think that's going to be plenty of soil for the plants to do really well. You guys, this section is done. I'm still working on my 2 3x6 foot beds, but I need a little bit of a break from shoveling soil. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go dig up some of those blue spice basils and put them in here. They say that they should be planted about a foot apart. And so I'm trying to figure out how many I need. And I may leave gaps because we may decide we want to put something else in. So I may start with 4 to 6 basils. I think 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to start with 6 basils and we'll go from there. But so much progress. I have a whole cluster of these blue spice basils right here. And so I think these are, oh man, I just brushed my hand across them. and it made the smell really strong. So I am going to dig up these, I think. I feel like smaller ones will transplant better than bigger ones. I don't know if I have you guys at a good angle to see, but I have this one beautiful zucchino rampicante right here, and something has just decimated the other two. I have no idea what, but their little leaves just are gone. So I may need to order some more seeds because that was the end of my seeds. What a bummer. But get some gloves on. We're going to dig up some of these basils. I'm thinking I have some baby dill plants in here as well, and I don't want to destroy those. I've never transplanted dill out of the ground before, and so not dill. I've never transplanted basil out of the ground before, and so trying to be real careful with them. Oh, all the dirt came off. I know people do that like pricking method with basils. So, oh, it smells so good, you guys. But these I think are maybe a little bit bigger than when people do the pricking thing. We're going to try. There's so many of these around the garden. If this pass doesn't work, we can come back. I think my plan here is going to be to put a basil sort of at every one of the hinges on the bed. Hinges maybe not the right word, but where the pieces are screwed together. So get this little guy in here. Make sure he's buried deeply enough. They don't look like much, but hopefully they're gonna do really well and thrive, and this is just gonna be a beautiful bed. Plus, this basil is like my favorite smell in the garden. They don't look like much now, but in no time, they should be big, beautiful basils. Getting my little basils watered in. And I think I'm going to get myself out of this midday sun and take a break, come back out later to work on those last two beds. But thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.